You can tell by the look on their eyes. You can tell that they've been there. I'm singing, you know what I'm singing? I know, Another Day in Paradise. But you know, like in the gyms, they make those things. What is it like? Genesis, Phil Collins. You know, good. No, but we're not hanging out with just any people. We're hanging out with wealthy people. If you go back to your mother's maiden name and you become a duke, you have a title of a duke or a count, perhaps not necessarily an earl, then you will be wearing, like I said, I just came up with that thought. You're going to be wearing a tuxedo from sunrise until the ending of the twist around the axis. You're going to be dressed in a tuxedo even when you're sleeping. So if you just go back to your mother's maiden ani ima, you're going who ima, you're going to be wearing a tuxedo even when you're sleeping and you're wearing a tuxedo. So we're putting those two the 6 tribes on here and 6 tribes there. Now we're not hanging out with any like cruel people who have the mentality of even nasty teenagers in high schools, because if we're hanging out with let's say so-called teenagers, they have to be Jewish teenagers, even if they are abroad. We still, their mentality, we're not judging any fellow Jews, but we're not hanging out with just like empty American teenagers, because they the inclination immediately to go into like cheap first in high school. I'm going for those slippers. In high school it starts with blatant nastiness, meanness, and bullying, and then people complain on that, and the victims now, like the people who are too weak to protect themselves. But we're not from the bullying. Then they complain about this for in their future. This is a clean shirt life. Now we hang out only with guys who are classier, and they don't have wives, and they have a sense of humor. Okay, we've been so fun doing so cute. This I put this against the heater, and been doing this. One of the exercises that I learned, that I have the Italian way. Well, no, been pushing. I don't think I can demonstrate it right now because, well, I'm still in the process of getting a few more mirrors here on this wall. Getting a mirror on those I'm doing walls, well, it's really amazing. The wall set when it's really good for the quads. Oh, so yeah, or this for from lack of wall, even this, even. I love my toys. They're so good. I'm really happy. I love all the things that I have. So, and they're so nice. They make the products so nice nowadays. Cosmic thing. But what's the most cosmic thing right now? Because when I just took it out, it's a clean dried shirt. I took it from the drying rack and from the drying hanger, and I spray it here. Sprayed it with. Currently, with the bad boy. Oh, here it is, bad boy, with the hair of this one. But did they make a good boy? Yes, they do auction a good boy, and it's a magical moment. Okay, and this is great. If like this is you know how good the quad is working. Please, I got this like cat as a present. You know, people make their toys. Yeah, I know they sew things, but you know, we're not living in a nursery. None of us is living in a nursery. No, not really. And if so, then it's an adult stable. So, you know, this the wall press, like I put him, it actually was really nice because first I was just heating my body on the heater because it's nice, you know, it's winter. But it's not snowing, but you know, I've been pressing, you know, you like press, but I gotta scoop and then of, you know, space, you know, precious, you know, hard materials. Like if you're making things, even like if you have kids, right? If you have kids, and just don't surround them in your life, because you know the stuff that your kid has affects you. Don't surround your kid with plastic stuff, with plastic toys. I know I have this nice wheel, but you know, but it's awesome. It looks like in the circus, like a lion jumps through that. I know it's sexy, but you know, don't get little stuff. I know one of the yeah, but you know, I had a boyfriend once. I did have sex with him. I had sex with him several times, and FYI, his penis was inside my mouth, but it was an 8-incher because he was a teenager. And I know, actually, when he was a teenager, I did not have sex with him. I had sex with him at age of 20. Well, whatever, yeah. But it was an 8-inch penis, so it fit. But it was like the only boyfriend that I ever had. Actually no, because later we've been living in the Bay Area. I had a boyfriend, but it was a military man, and you're asking for the size? Well, you know, I saved him from, you know, becoming a transsexual. I saved him. So yeah, but also it was a great friendship. It was amazing, you know, amazing. I wasn't nasty-curious. It was amazing. I loved it. You know, it was great. So those were the 2 boyfriends that I had in my life. Eric and my first boyfriend, the penis, but it was the first time I sucked dick. So it was great. So, and he had, when I went to his like boy room, you know, because it was like where he lived, but he was like a magical dude, you know, because, you know, he was very wealthy. He had a title of, he had like a aristocratic parents. He was a rebel with a heart of gold. And I went into the room, and I had a lot of perfume bottles, and before I had sex, and I was like, but also, okay, regarding the elimination of plastic in the oceans also, because you know, we're taking part in the competitions at the Yale, if you know, track and field, and anyway, all the other sports apart from wrestling. Now, like, no, we're not doing wrestling because then it affects like your interactions with people. So, elimination. You know, there's a in the, it's called. I just you know became a member of that, and so you can either you're running for a cause for either to plant 2, like there's a slider and you choose option 1 or option B. One of them is to plant more trees. Another one, which is good, not trees, yes, but another one is elimination of plastic in the oceans. So you know, goodbye plastic. You know, they're good because they're open toes. Actually I have admitting I have a problem with house footwear because these. I got the shoes right here. I bought them on Black Friday, and they just had 1 pair. This is Maryland company. Maryland Manson is sexy. You know why? Of course, because not only because he's born on January 5th, yes, of course, but he's smart, a dude, and also when I know it's like, oh, you gotta do the Satanism card. well, yeah, at least I don't appear as a trucker, as a like a motorization guy. If I'm 10 years over in the business, then at least I become I get a fun, or a aristocratic. In Europe, you have plenty of options, and even outside of Europe, in other continents, you have options. Yeah, but I was referring to, I was a spaceman. Yeah, I told you were cool. But so yes, you that for the company Maryland, but they make lingerie, like bed stuff, like for if even so you're attractive. You are attractive. You're sexy. You have a sexy body. Yet, do you really have to focus all your effort and energy that you have? You have a lot of energy, but do you have to focus that on sex? No, because Maryland, I like it. It's a sensual store. But if someone came up to me and gave me the $500 that they have, for example, like a nice bathrobe, like a practically kimono bathrobe, would I wear that? Well, it feels nice on your body, but unless you have a silk manufacturer, or but also they make lacy underwear. You're gonna be focusing on your very few people that Rabbi Ron but in Israel everything is amazing, because in Israel God is everywhere practically, almost. Yeah, but even God is in the Kfarot, even in the countryside. So it's wonderful, yeah, but it's in Israel. But you got to put that effort. Like a man who actually achieved something, he's actually a medical doctor. He's actually is a doctor. Not that every boy wants to, meddle inside of, like other kids, whomever they have around. They're lucky if their daddies provided them with a brother. But, some parents are, idiots or like stupid, and, they weren't thoughtful. Or they're simply, either straight or bisexual. So they provided with a sister. Well, so the little boy is going to be, interested in, exploring, whatever they have at hand. But, the daddies were actually smart, and they equipped him with a brother, or with, it's better to have nothing. I had a single, only child. I was in a relationship with the only child dude. So, and they were really successful and rich and wealthy. So it's just great, but just don't do those heterosexual models of your kids. And then a guy around his 40s, because 30s, he's still an idiot, unless provided that he's in a university, it's a good university and college, and he's the best university, Ivy League, and he's doing the best. He's the really classy gentleman already. When he's even signing up, he's already successful. And so at 30, well, he's going to be really thoughtful. I talked with one just last week on the phone. I talked one in Connecticut, in New Haven, the one that I spell, like the Winnie the Pooh with the W. It's such a cute joke. It is cute. Some people don't distinguish that, I know. So, but you can also spell it with a line or with a U, anyway. So it's just wonderful. And I talked with one, and I'm not saying that he was over 40, and he had a really intelligent voice. I talked with him on the phone. From Harvard Med School. Yeah, actually, wait, was it Harvard or was it? It was Harvard Med School. Yeah, and it's so special. And he's really intelligent. He's young, but he's not a hustler. He's not a cheap hustler, and he's not a hustler at all. And, he doesn't go to, bars for the serious man, and doesn't, wear, just, cheap hoe things to draw attraction. Even though everyone is attractive, and certain... where the rift of the crust of planet Earth has certain vibrations, and and just like the energy that is emitted, the kinetic energy, kinetic forces emitted by the electrical, energy and power and strength load of human. We are a devices, somewhat. Devices magical, ignited by Hakadosh Baruch Hu, by God. God has put the spark into us. Before Hebrew was invented, the language that the Talmud was written in, the Babylonian Talmud, even older ancient languages, that Prometheus, but then later it's not. People have been explaining the world, and everything is true in the later views on the most serious subjects. So origin, the end or lack thereof, and life, biology. So the Prometheus. So there are certain places in the world, and that being the tri-state, New Jersey and Connecticut, perhaps the one with Cambridge in it. They should rename it, and that's it. Because the rest of it is a pot smoke. Narcotics are not present in America anymore, but they used to. They used to be, because it really depends on the demographics and the migrations of really so-called travel. You're traveling. I'm going to meet my friends, but you can tell by their eyes, literally, that they are pot smokers. They're going to be meeting their friends. They're going to Vermont and to New Hampshire. No, I don't want to offend New Hampshire, because some good judges, the justices of the Supreme Court, but they're not the main one, but yes, also reside in there. So it's not a totally stupid state, whereas Vermont, the pot smokers. Why would I know? I am assuming, because I don't hang out with any pot smokers, and if I detect that they're smoking weed, I turn the other direction and walk away, because I'm not interested. So, and plus it's not my cup of tea. I drink a lot of herbal tea because it gives you very nice, healthy inner organs and skin and everything. So it's very good. This is for sale. I have to put this for sale. I'm selling this big television because me watching television, television. And then I have another television that I had in the bedroom. And then I'm selling the 2 air purifiers. But thankfully, I should thank God, guys, really, because it's been 5 years, and there has been, in my balcony, people have been smoking, and now they're improved their health. They're not breathing tobacco anymore, or just everything, the toxins, into their lungs anymore. And hopefully it prevails, because really, it's good for the general health for the planet, for the atmosphere, for the ozone layer, and the climate on the planet. They're not smoking anymore, so it's very good. And so I don't have to use the air purifiers, and I was really suffering when people smoke. It's just and it costs a lot of money, and then the health system is just not functioning, because you have to treat people are sick. So then they're not, and this happened. I'm really grateful and happy that this happened, that they stopped smoking in the building. So I'm really happy, because I'm a health freak. I'm a really health aware. So we're not hanging out with just any men. We're hanging out with other successful men. They actually, after 40, a lot of going to be introducing, if you're in a place where they're staying at the Forum Romanum, go, and there's a lot of people. They come and they're there, and they're exchanging brief thoughts before heading back to their latifundia. A lot of them might introduce themselves as a doctor, or on the airplane. But that's, no, we're not putting a scenario where there's a threat of health and life. So, no, but we walked into a restaurant, and there was a little bear, and a little cute, otter princely young male, and male, and he had a problem with his ankle, and he showed it to like this really other wealthy patron, but actually a man who's not crazy, and he's not like rooked up in a crowd of other dudes, not just an ordinary man. And he showed his ankle to and he said that he was a doctor, and he helped his foot, but he was not like totally injured, but he really gave him a massage, and it was really nice. So we are spending time with it's a reflection of my own system, because I don't hang out. I spend time. I select really selected, but I don't want to discriminate. But just we have to admit, if we built a new society, a new world with perfect people, and it's not if someone is, if you're invalid, then someone like the predators would assume that with that one it's going to be so easy. It's just sufficient that I have 2 legs, 2 arms, a dick, and a head, and it's sufficient because they're handicapped. So I'm not handy. I happen to be. I never. I'm fully capable. So it's gonna be enough with that one. It's easy. That's a thinking of a criminal, like a thief practically, or someone who's like intention of robbery, breaking into someone. That it's sufficient for with that one, it's going to be sufficient that I'm just I have all the body parts, and they're still never going to have that. So it's I gonna have it's a man who actually he was a good student in school. He was a good student. He was diligent, he got good grades, he was hardworking, and he was listening to his parents, and he was listening to authorities. He's a responsible driver, just like all of our citizens in Israel. There are no massacres in Israel, or plane crashes. Just there are no collisions. Catastrophes. There are no catastrophes. Why are there catastrophes in third world countries? Because they got local authorities and governments are, they're either indulgent in those the intoxifying substances, or they're not responsible or not educated. One of the 3 reasons why in poor places catastrophes cannot be prevented. So everyone is a good driver in Connecticut because everyone is an alumni. Matt Damon drives there, and we all are responsible drivers. And when we don't enter a vehicle or an airplane, that's really hard to enter, because but not in America. In America, a lot of people have private jets. But there's one threshold of financial status. To buy an airplane is more expensive than buying a ground vehicle. Just saying. So, plus you gotta go. There's like a safety filter before they buy those things. Airplanes, but there are fewer than ground there. So people are driving safe, and you go and you feel just happy. That's a happy, perfect community, and it's not snobism. No, it's not. Actually, they're really down to earth. But somehow, the man in the Michael Bloomberg in like you know, a gentleman. There are so many gentlemen. Just take a look in the short bus. You know, when they're sitting in that scene in that bar, and then it's not a bar. No, it's not a bar. It's an orgy. It's an orgy, you know, but they're not participating. You know, the gentleman in the tuxedo, in the 6-piece with a bow tie, most likely a governor of New York. And also, but if you go to Fifth Avenue, even the patrons of the stores, of like the Burberry store, or like even of like, you know, a Tiffany store, or like those stores, the few stores that they have in that avenue, they're also going to be looking just like, you know, Governor Bloomberg, because it's you know, people like to assimilate. It's a process called assimilation with fellow mates and friends at any age. So, you know, people look elegant and in short butts. You know, it's an orgy. You know, the women are spread eagles, spread legs, ankles on the shoulders, ankles on the ears of her own ears. A woman is, you know, the queen. She hit 20 and she's suddenly a queen of her, you know, vagina is a palace welcoming, you know, random guys who are covered with tattoos. That's an orgy. That's a bisexual, heterosexual orgy. And whereas sex is not really a mandatory element of life. I mean, there's so many ways to replace it with other things that don't give you, you know, fissures, fractures, anal fissures, and tears, or abscess inside of your genital. Do you really need that? Do you really need to have a intimate injury, like because you wanted to like fit in, become part of like some organization or group, or are you, you know, are you a hooker? You're male or a female hooker that you're, you know, and bonding with people through sex. That never sells. Sex is not a commodity in our world. It's not a commodity. It's not tradable. It's not a sellable good, sex, because it's an activity that very few people have, if not nobody.